From TBS Light, it's the Saved by the Bell Variety Pack. Zach, Slater, and Screech. They're cool and refreshing, with no gritty aftertaste. Saved by the Bell. Weekdays beginning 5:05 Eastern on TBS Light. Comedy that's funny.
And I wake up in the morning and the longest that I wanted, I don't think I'll ever make it on time. By the time I grab my books and I give myself a look, I'm at the corner just in time to see the bus fly by. It's alright, cause I'm saved by the bell. Yeah, the teacher pops a test, I know I'm in a mess, and my dog ate all my homework last night. Riding low in my chair, she won't know that I'm there. If I can edit it tomorrow, it'll be alright. It's alright, cause I'm saved by the bell. It's alright. I say it's alright. Yeah, it's alright, cause I'm saved by the bell. It's alright, cause I'm saved by the. It's alright, cause I'm saved by the. It's alright, cause I'm saved by the bell.
Saved by the Bell, Screech's spaghetti sauce. So Punky Brewster goes through some massive school overhaul from transferring to Bayside to 90210. Well, we certainly have got the best of the 80s and 90s right here then.
Oh, really? Well, my lucky number is 90210.
Zach is the only ones to notice Punky and his dick radars off to the races.
Well, why don't I give you a tour of the neighborhood after school?
And what kind of car do you plan on touring me around in?
Well, it's a 66 Mustang convertible. It's a real classic.
Classic. Another word for old. Trade up, then call me.
Zach asks her out, but she declines because he drives a restored antique automobile. Wait a minute. I thought all high-maintenance gals fell for girls with classic cars. Classic cars equals cash, right? That's news to me, but thank you for sharing, NBC. Even Zach is confused. Even diehard Punky Brewster fans are confused because just a few seasons prior, she had a thing for him. Are you screwing with our intelligence? Oh, writers to think the sitcom world is blind. Nah, you're just too unkind. Never mind that now, because Mr. Belding arrives as acting communications class instructor. The producers couldn't afford another lunatic from the insane teachers asylum on account of Punky Brewster's salary demands.
Hello, class.
Hey, Mr. Brewster. What's on, Belding?
You might be wondering why I'm teaching communications this term. Slater, go ahead. Tell everyone.
I have no idea, sir.
He informs us that this class project is for the whole class to conduct their own cable access television program.
I'm teaching communications because being a school principal is about communication.
Hey, don't laugh, it was once a popular thing in the 90s with two. Slater is assured she will go for him well with his rippling muscles, but then again, these days you can't be sure of anything in the date world anymore.
I take you out to dinner after the show?
Sounds like fun. Where do you plan on taking me? Handsome?
How about the Max for a couple of burgers? Beautiful.
Burgers? I don't think so. Try me again when you have a craving for something expensive.
Everybody is playing an angle.
Oh, hey, they got cheeseburgers too.
The program brings with our hosts Zach and Lisa that will be repeated through the annals of TBS re-airing time, having writers now looking on it as if it never happened.
It's Malibu and Santa Monica. I'm Zach Morris.
And I'm Lisa Turtle.
And we've got an exciting show for you today.
They cut to an angle with investigative reporter Jessie on the scene, interviewing Mr. Belding, and pretends she gives a crap by going all 180 in how Bayside spends its money.
What happened to that $500 petty cash discrepancy discovered by the school board?
What?
Don't play dumb with me. Where's the cash?
I'm sure there's an explanation. See, it was just a petty cash error.
That's not a petty BMW you're driving these days.
And this is newsworthy? Come on, Bayside is a one-trick pony school composed of one instructor per capita with a student body of 10?
I thought we were going to talk about Pokey, my pet turtle.
The rest of the class are held in a holding tank until the next instructor is called in the next day, and that's a good day. What could they possibly have money to spend anything else on? Again, it is cute to see Jessie take her quasi-feminism views on other things other than what her friends are up to. Next is the weather report, or do we call this the naughty report because it begins with Kelly dressed in a winter coat, because these Los Angeles winters sure have us bundling up for heat exhaustion.
Leave your miniskirts at home, girls, because winter winds are here. Cut!
Seriously, this is LA, where their winter motto is, "What's winter?" She gives the most stereotypical local weather report on the 9, but in the most sexist manner as possible.
Get back in your bikinis because we'll have sunshine at all local beaches.
Then she takes off the coat to reveal to all the adult men that this forecast calls for high bursts of semen. I think I just heard one go off right now. What are you feeding this writer's NBC? Blue Chew?
Oh my God. No wonder he doesn't want to get a job. He sits around the house jerking off all day.
The show concludes with Screech's cooking hour. Since no one in the Bayside universe will learn their mistakes, we send in our incompetent professional Screech to finish the job.
A faithful assistant will add the onions. Add the onions. I'll be happy to.
Here he is demonstrating how to make spaghetti. Even though he is no barefoot Contessa, he actually does a surprising job, but not only impressing Slater with his talents, but the rest of the Bayside brunch was something that is not only edible, but something that doesn't give you a cause for the runs.
Stirring, Screech, amiga.
Ready for the secret ingredients.
Ah, bada bing, bada boom. Wow, well, that's Italian. This is good.
Well, that's incredible.
Never tasted anything so good, really.
Oh, that's good.
I don't believe it. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
What everyone is attracted to is not the fact that he is making spaghetti sauce, but what the secret ingredient is that makes this new discovery so good.
And low in fat and cholesterol. Yeah.
Then again, this is Screech, and some things are best left not discovered if our taste buds are left in his hands.
Can you believe all this fuss over my grandmother's spaghetti sauce?
They all want to buy it.
Wow, isn't that crazy?
The next morning, Zach and Slater later discover what most people whom go into public access television find to be the ugly truth, and that no one gives a shit. You volunteered your time.
So signed 100 autographs already. How about you guys? Tons and tons.
Oh, lots. Whole bunch.
Girls only care if you were paid to be on television.
But it gives me an idea.
Yeah, I'm with you, Preppy.
Yeah.
If we can't be famous,
We can be rich!
Then we enter into another rare occurrence, just like in the Beauty and the Screech episode, is that we find out he's fuckable because they have gone ooh spaghetti for Chef Bouillard Dork.
Chloe, I just found a nerd with great EP, earning power.
That's like comparing Hugh Hefner to Screech in terms of sex appeal. Hey, if the smoking jacket fits. Zach figures if the girls want to get sauced with Screech, he ought to get something for it so that it will attract Punky B back into his life. Punky Brewster overhears the conversation and pretends to like Screech because after all, this is a Zach Morris theme already in progress, for they are always foolproof, right?
Hi, Screech.
Hi, Robin.
I'll get right to the point, cutie. I'm gonna let you buy me lunch.
Gee, thanks.
Screech figures since Violet's father bought her into Beverly Hills and how horrendous of an actress she is, doesn't bother to question Punky's intentions, not one bit. Punky invites Screech to buy her lunch and ingrates him into the style daddy lifestyle and giving him a crash course on how best to use his spaghetti earnings to benefit her. We then head into the Bayside kitchen. What? We nearly are down 2 seasons left, and this is the first time we have been introduced to Bayside's kitchen.
Sorry.
They can barely afford after-school activities, let alone instructors. What makes you think they can afford to feed children? Or are we assuming this operation was set up at the max like every other side angle they do? Your guess is as good as mine.
Why would anyone buy sauce in these?
Because anyone could put spaghetti sauce in jars. Using flasks makes a statement for saying our sauce is special, unique.
Wow, are the girls busily eating up the spaghetti sauce inventory because pretty girls like to stuff their face in saturated fats. Zach arrives with a box of beakers from the school's science lab that will be used to bottle the spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, besides, we got them for free from the chemistry lab.
Right.
With beakers used to mix volatile and potentially hazardous chemicals on a weekly basis. Yeah, I see how that is really healthy when that corrosive Italian mixture burns a hole through your intestinal tract.
Lisa, you got the labels?
Right here. Ran off 1,000 of them.
I'm guessing this is Screech's flaming hot secret sauce now with the hydrochloric acid. Get enough acid in your diet today? Lisa unveils the new product logo, which would make me a non-consumer of all things Italian if I had to stare at that face every time I craved for spaghetti or homemade pizza.
No flask, printing, tomatoes. I mean, aren't we going to get in trouble for using all this stuff?
Kelly, all these things are for student use, right? Well, we're students, so we're using them.
Nice to see he has sunk so low to create a knockoff brand of Italian foods this side of Heinz, Campbell's, and, Great Value spaghetti rings and tomato sauce.
You really believe that?
Okay, so let's go with this charade they're actually bottling on the conveyor belt is true I Love Lucy style, since our famed NBC writers can't just leave one of the most legendary comedians in television or references to that show for that matter alone.
Pouring the sauce?
Bottling the sauce.
Wiping the sauce.
Corking the sauce.
Labeling the sauce. Screech, pay attention!
Screech has one job to do. Take the bottle off the belt and box it, but since Screech fails at life, how can you possibly expect him to complete one simple task?
Slater, I need a rag to clean up. Lisa! Make that 2 rags.
Screech, get back there!
Screech, just clean it later. We're backing up here. Come on, hurry.
I'll just turn it off.
Then, of course, what comes with the introduction of a new product comes product advertisement.
Spaghetti sauce commercial, take 1.
As they film one of the worst excuses for a spaghetti ad. For starters, TV ads or even YouTube ads are 15 or 30 seconds tops. This commercial goes on for 2 minutes.
Buonasera, mama. What's up for supper?
What's the matter for you? I clean your house, I raise your kids, and all you can say is what's for supper.
Do these kids have no concept of the cost per airing this on a 2-minute time slot?
I'm so sorry, mi amore. I missed you so much today. You're so beautiful. Come here.
Who cares just as long as they can put a shout out to insulting pretty much every Italian American around by bringing out every typical Italian stereotype out of pop culture for your viewing pleasure.
Bambini, Papa's home.
Hello, Papa. Welcome home, Papa.
So, where's your lazy good-for-nothing brother Mario, huh?
How unoriginal.
Bob, yo, ma, what's up for supper, huh?
Hey, what's the matter with you? Got no manners? Show your mama some respect.
How desperate to make us feeling something here.
Mangia, mangia. Mama, spaghetti sauce? I just remembered I'm on a diet. Me too.
Spaghetti sauce. Well, it stinks, capisce?
Hey, what's up?
Then, at the max, Screech and Punky arrive in style.
Look! It's Screech!
Screech thinks he's the king of Spaghetti Street, bigger than noodles, and co-making the student body even more completely daft and insane since Johnny Dakota.
Will you autograph my bottle of sauce?
Sure.
Come on, Screechy Poo. Baby's hungry.
Punky refuses her man to sign any autographs, but instead would rather demands shrimp, lobster, watches, necklaces galore.
I have a present for you. It's the watch you wanted.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Well, that's not what you said yesterday. You said Screech, buy me
What
it.
else did you get me?
Well, nothing.
But, Pookie, I can't wear this without the matching necklace.
The next day, Zach tries to get in a word to Screech about Punky P, but Mr. Belding chimes in raving about the glorious spaghetti sauce.
Produce, chemistry, supplies, this stuff wasn't in my budget. I have heard good things about that spaghetti sauce, Screech. I'd like to buy some.
Oh, no, sir. We couldn't charge you for all you've done for us, you know?
That's really nice
Yeah.
of you. Mrs. B will be thrilled. She loves your commercial. The sauce you can have, but the secret, she's a mine.
Zach figures to make Mr. Belding's days in smothering him with marinara so he can get right to the chase and continuing his conversation to Screech about Punky Brewster. That's not until they are interrupted by a random spaghetti lawyer from the Betsy Crocker legal team.
Excuse me, but aren't you Samuel Powers?
Another adoring fan.
I represent the Betsy Crocker Company. We've sampled your sauce.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me.
I am amazed at this point as to how sensitive NBC was to avoid a copyright lawsuit that they would add a S to Betty Crocker. Why? I mean, you're still in the clear even if it took you out an S for Betty Crocker doesn't resemble any known company, and they can quote the Better Business Bureau if they think I'm lying.
Oh, see, I know why you're here. But if you want Screech's recipe in your cookbook, it's gonna cost you.
No. It's gonna cost you. You see, we've had that recipe in our cookbook for over 20 years. Now, you stop selling our sauce, or we'll sue you. Hey, it's been a pleasure.
Zach figures this random lawyer is out to present a tender offer to buy the recipe, but instead, random blood-sucking lawyer is out to issue them a cease and desist order. If you weren't convinced, then perhaps you are convinced now as to how much of a complete dumbass Screech is to not think it would be a problem to profit off a recipe that wasn't his to begin with.
Screech, did your grandmother get a recipe from the Betsy Crocker cookbook?
Well, of course she did. That's why it's so good. Grandma was a lousy cook.
Yeah, idiots all around here at Bayside High. It's becoming contagious. Now that the Bayside bunch is thoroughly convinced Screech is too incompetent to make it on his own in the business world, it's time for Zach to talk turkey about Punky.
Look, there's really no easy way to say this, but Robin only likes you for your money.
He comes clean that she is only out for his money and not his rail-thin manhood. Screech just says Zach is jealous for he didn't make a move a few years ago on her show when he had the chance.
Oh, no, that's not it.
Oh, you just can't handle the fact that I'm a stud and you're a dud.
Later at the Max, after a day of shopping, Screech presents Punky Brewster with the necklace she wanted.
Oh, silver. I was sort of hoping for the gold one.
Well, I'll exchange it right away.
Oh, no. I still want this one. I just want the other one, too. I am worth it, aren't I?
However, this selfish bitch is out for his wallet, hounding for another on in a different color. She comes clean with Screech to not take this personal. This is only business.
Well, of course you are, Robin, but are you saying that if I don't buy this necklace for you, you won't go out with me?
Yes.
Screech is not too much of an idiot to pick up on the social clues of a Beverly Hills hustler and yet rushes to buy the other necklace anyway.
But that's only because I want to look beautiful for you. You deserve the best that money can buy.
Well, that works for me.
When Screech rushes back to retrieve the wallet out of his locker, he overhears Punky talking with her gold-digging mama in training, Chloe.
Look what I got Todd to buy me. That's nothing. I got a watch and a necklace, and he's buying me more. And that dork Screech actually thinks I like him. I wonder what I'll make him buy me next.
About how repulsive and unattractive Screech is and how this operation was all intended to bleed him dry. Screech then gets the hint and folds up like an accordion, sulking off backstage. In the kitchen, the gang lament on how great it would be if only they could sell off what was left of this newfound glory.
I know, I wish we could sell what we have left.
Zach, face it, it's over.
Screech enters and is saddened by the news of how he was used.
Zach, you were right about Robin. She was just using me.
I'm sorry, Screech.
Well, Screech, you unfortunately fell into a category that some men, even in the online dating world today, fall into whom with want a pretty girl by their shoulders, and that is called a splendid daddy. Those are men or little boys such as yourself whom strive to obtain sugar daddy status but don't yet have the funds to pull it off. Basically, it's just a sweet sugar-coated word that brands you as a poser. Mr. Belding enters confronting the group as to their misuse of stolen school property to fund their spaghetti sauce.
Horace, you must think I'm pretty dumb.
We're not the only ones.
Talking about $1,500 in school supplies you use to run your business.
He then orders them to reimburse the amount of the stolen goods by tomorrow or it's suspensions for all.
Okay, so we didn't make any money. We'll just have to pay it out of the profits. How much money do we have, Screech?
Oh, Zach, I kind of spent some of the profits on Robin.
That revelation is enough to make them feel sick to their stomachs when they find out Screech spent all of their profits to fund our beloved 80s child actor's glamorous life.
Wait,
How much is some of the profits?
Oh, just, all of it.
Zach comes up with a quick episode ending plan to raise the money and get back at Punky Brewster.
Well, Screech, I just thought of a way to get Belding's money and get even with Robin at the same time.
The next day, at the Max, Screech wants out of the spaghetti business to spend more time with her needing and demanding girl that comes with a direct deposit option.
I'm making more money than I know what to do with.
Oh, you poor baby. You know, I'm pretty good with money. I could help you figure out what to do with it.
I'll spend all my time with you. And that's why I've decided to sell the business.
Are you crazy?
Punky sees Screech off as a moron, but Screech is not taking no for an answer.
Oh, it's just too much for me. In fact, I'm meeting someone here who's interested in buying my recipe.
We begin stirring the plot as things are turning up quite Russian as Vladimir von Putin enters with an offer to buy Screech's sauce.
I'm prepared to offer you $500, huh?
Screech, we need more sauce. We just got 100 more orders.
I'm sorry, but I've decided to sell the business to Herr Schmidt.
A bidding war ensues over the rights to the recipe.
But you can, it's a gold mine.
But my mind's made up. As long as I have Robin, I don't need money.
Don't be so sure of that.
$500.
All right.
600. 700.
800, 900, 950.
$1,000.
What should I do?
Then, for some quick reason, and a desperate to hang on to her splendid baby lifestyle, Punky throws in a quick bid of $2,000.
Sell it to that foreign creep? I'll buy it.
Oh, Robin, you're too pure and innocent. I couldn't put you through it.
The $1,800 she pays directly out of her checking account, and the rest of the $200 comes from the value of the gifts Screech previously bought for her.
You $1,200.
$1,300.
1,400.
$2,000. Sold.
I have to ask for the money right now.
No problema. Oh, it seems I only have $1,800 in my checking account.
I'll give you $1,850.
Wait a second. Take back your watch and necklace. That should make up the difference.
Punky runs off with the recipe, but not until she can insult Screech one more time for being a dumbass.
Where are you going, my pet?
I'm not your pet, you geek. I'm gonna be rich and famous. Later, losers.
But they will get all the last laugh when they all get cited for fraud as they dig themselves even deeper into debt by dragging one daddy's little expensive girl into their pyramid scheme.
All right, buddy. Come on, let's hurry up and cash a check.
We find out Mr. Putin was actually Zach as our episode concludes with Screech learning nothing about the value of a hard-earned dollar and being weary of scams and deceptions as he decides to go out with Chloe so he can fund Punky's other SC heister in crime with money they just stole from her. Hold on, Screech. You might want to have your brain run this by a legal for a clean sense of conscience before you implicate yourself further.
I want to get my share right now. I have a date.
With who?
With Robin's friend Chloe.
What?